I'd love to get your take on Purdy's extension. Wow, how would you grade it? Was it good? Who won the deal? What are your takeaways? However you want to approach it. Maz, you're first since you've been awake for 2 minutes.
Grant, I know you love the deal a lot. You just absolutely love it. You think it's one of the best deals ever. I like it. I don't. Yeah, 53 million's a lot, but I think in this day in the NFL, I think it's fine. There was talks about him getting 60 million a year, 65. He even wanted 65, and he got 53. I don't know. There's also other quarterbacks that had a higher contract than Jared Goff, Tua, Trevor Lawrence, and he has a contract his contract is lower than them. I don't know. I don't mind it. Do I like it? Not really, but it's not bad. It's not bad. I don't know. I think you overreacted a little bit.
So hold on, just to summarize, you didn't give a letter grade, but you said, "Do I like it?" It's not bad. To me, give it a B+. That sounds like the verbal equivalent of a C+.
No, I'm gonna give it a B. I'll give it a B-.
Okay, B-. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
B-.
This might be a hot take here. I'm gonna give it an A.
Interesting. Why?
And the reason why is because it's going to, obviously we're gonna get the contract details, I think today or tomorrow, because it's official, and I think after 48 hours the exact numbers drop. But my take on it from reading it is that it's gonna be a front-loaded deal. And that's what I said going into the draft. I said if they get a good draft, they should front load it, because obviously those players are going to play. They're going to be cheap, and they are not 1 year away from Super Bowl. We're not back in the race. We're not. Okay.
Yes, we are.
If you have a good draft next year and the year after that, watch out. We're going to be a pretty dynamic team that's going to be hard to beat, because we addressed a good amount of holes this year. We addressed a good amount of holes last year. We have some good players that we got. So if they can front load it, which I think that's how it's going to play out. Once again, we'll get the details today or tomorrow, but I'm going to give them an A for that. And also at 53, I think when Stroud gets paid, when, a couple of these other quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels gets paid here in a couple of years, that contract's going to look pretty cheap.
And the salary cap's going to keep going up.
Yeah.
That's fair. I guess I was a little bit, it seemed to me like Purdy won this deal. It seemed to me like,
well, doesn't anybody win that deal when you make $53 million?
I mean, the sense is what did he have to compromise on? He got more than Lamar Jackson. He got more than Jalen Hurts. He got a full no trade clause. He got $2 million less per year than Joe Burrow and Josh Allen. Those are future Hall of Famers. Yeah. Lamar Jackson, future Hall of Famer. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl champion, and Brock, who's he's got spunk and guile and leadership. I love Brock Purdy, but it just seemed like no other team. Maybe another team would have. Maybe another team. I feel like maybe Tennessee would have been interested, but why would you trade for Brock if you could just draft Cam Ward? I don't know. I feel like the market wasn't there, and what the Rams did with Stafford was interesting. They're like, oh, you want an extension? Find one team that'll give it to you. And then he did, and it was the Raiders. And they're like, all right, well, we'll give you a little bit less than what the Raiders are going to offer you. And if you want to go play in obscurity for the rest of your career, go ahead. Stafford's like, all right, fair, you got me. I mean, it would have been cool to see the Niners do something like that. Instead, they are treating him like he either is going to improve or he's better than he really is.
Hey, Grant, has Josh Allen ever made it to the Super Bowl?
No,
but also it's
so who's really better, huh? So I put that out today on Twitter, comparing the contracts between Burrow and Purdy, because to me they're too close. It looks bad for the Niners. People are like, well, they have the same resume. They have the same resume. The only difference really is where they're drafting. I'm like, okay, all right, I'm shutting it down. It's too early. I'm not doing this on Twitter today.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'll be the first to say Joe Burrow is one of my favorite quarterbacks in the league. Joe Burrow and Josh Allen are my two favorite quarterbacks. But also, Brock doesn't have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins to throw to as well. So, if Jamar Chase, maybe
he only has George Kittle. That guy's a bum. Sorry,
George Kittle's unreal, obviously. But I mean, dude, Jamar Chase is in a different stratosphere. What that guy did last year, that was unreal. And
Higgins is really good too.
Yeah, I mean, he's a massive body. He's like Juwan Jennings with more speed and more athleticism.
He's like Juwan plus Ayuk in one player.
Yeah. Basically,
you know what I mean.
Basically, but I don't know. It's tough because there is a lot of quarterbacks that are getting paid a lot, and they haven't done literally anything. And Brock has been to a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson has had a better team and has, dookied the bed, so to speak, in multiple playoffs now. Like he every time he goes to the playoffs, it's like for me as a sports bettor, it's like a dream of mine. I just bet against him every time, and you're bound to make money. Like, you know what I mean? So
that's true.
Grant, what would you want the Niners to do? Like, if you're the GM, what would you want them to do?
What would I have done? Maybe I would have gotten an F for this. Maybe people would have fired me, but like, I would have traded Purdy.
But to who? Because
Tennessee for the second round pick. Maybe Tennessee would have said, you know what, we want Cam Ward. Sorry. But I've been like, dude, Cam Ward is not the number one player on your board. You want Abdul Carter. You want Travis Hunter, man. Why don't you trade this? Because you don't know that Cam Ward's going to be any good. Yeah, but and you guys drafting him won't set him up for success. Trade for Brock. Only a second round pick. You pay him. And yeah, that's what I would have done. And then I would have signed Darnold for like $33 million, like $20 million a year cheaper. And I would have drafted Jalen Milroe. I like what Seattle did. Why are you paying $53 million a year for a quarterback who's not top 5? Why? It's not smart.
But that's just the going rate for quarterbacks
and pay him bridge money.
That's just the
going rate, though. I don't know.
Like sooner or later, every quarterback's just going to be making $50+ million.
And also, we've gone through this cycle. Like, I mean, obviously, I mean, this is so hindsight, and there's, a Super Bowl's not 1 to 2 plays, but. And I'm going to preface this with the Niners haven't invested in their offensive line, so it is their fault. But in that Super Bowl, like, Brock played well enough to beat Patrick Mahomes. Like, it's not like we watched that game and it was like, if we had some guy, it's like somebody else, like, we win that game.
Did he though? He didn't make big mistakes, but I mean, he had Ayuk open on the third down in the fourth quarter. He had Ayuk open in the red zone again on the left. He predetermined those reads. There was pressure in his face. That wasn't his fault. Yeah. But he's not like he was Jalen Hurts in those Super Bowls. He was all right.
He was all right. And when you say
I give him a B, I gave him a B for that performance in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, but when you say pressure in his face, when you say pressure in his face, though, you have to preface it with an untouched Chris Jones.
Unblocked. Yeah. You're right. You're right. Like, and on the other one, it was Trent McDuffie right up the gut. You're right.
Yeah, Trent McDuffie's so good.
That's true.
But that's a different conversation.
Okay, so let me throw you some stats from CBS. So they gave him a C+ for this extension. He said, this is from who wrote it? Jeff Kerr. Okay, he says they decided to pay Purdy significantly more than he's worth. When McCaffrey, Williams, Debo, and Ayuk and Kittle all played, Purdy was 17-4 and threw 38 touchdowns, just 8 picks. Prize Picks will give you $50 when you play your first $5 lineup. Win or lose, you'll get $50 for playing. Use promo code Cohn, COHN, and download the app now. In any other game, Purdy was 10-11 with 30 touchdowns to 18 picks, a significant drop-off. And I just want to point out, Jimmy got to play 4 full games with Christian McCaffrey that he started. He was 4-0 in those games. He threw 7 touchdowns and no picks. So my hypothesis is that while Purdy is good, man, 45 quarterbacks are going to look good with those 5 guys on the field together. Kind of scary.
I mean, I don't know if I'd say 45, but...
Okay, 30. 25.
Yeah, I was going to say
22 and a half.
You think Will Levis is going to go out there and look good with that roster?
I mean, Justin Fields might freaking go out there and look good with that roster. Russell Wilson might go out there and look good with that roster. Like,
Russell Wilson, yeah, I'd give you...
Yeah, and like Russell Wilson's right like the 23rd best quarterback in the league right now.
Yeah.
Tua would. Derek Carr would. Daniel Jones might make it work. Sam Darnold would look good. Trey Lance, I don't know, but we never even saw Trey Lance. One snap with Christian McCaffrey. That would have been kind of cool to see how they could run the ball with that kind of a dual threat, but it never happened.
I mean, Trey couldn't run the ball, to be fair. I mean, he was just he was a scared runner. But
he'd run and get injured.
Yeah. But
you love Purdy. You just love this contract extension. You probably threw it like a celebration.
I'm proud of him and his agent. I feel like they worked the Niners.
Dude, I'm so happy.
Not really.
Like, all jokes aside, I'm happy for him.
Grant, Brock Purdy, like everyone was talking about him getting more than Dak, all that. He didn't even get more than Dak. I think
how is he going to get more than Josh Allen though? Like Josh Allen signed his extension in January, got $55 million a year. There's no way that Brock was going to get more than Josh in the same year that he just won the MVP. The fact that he approached Josh is incredible. That's a win for him.
Yeah, you're right, but
yeah. But like Josh did get like 250 million guaranteed. Brock got 100 million guaranteed.
Wasn't it like 165?
I think it's 165 cash paid to him through the first 3 years, 181 fully guaranteed, and 100 guaranteed at signing. I believe that's the breakdown. And 100 guaranteed, like that is not seventh most. It's less than Goff. It's less than Tua.
Yeah, I could see that.
The 100 million guaranteed is essentially what they would have had to pay him this year in the 2 franchise tags.
Just thinking about it, like how fast would you spell Grant Cohn if you got 100 million wired to your bank account at signing?
Oh my God. Oh my God. You would never see me on YouTube again, ever.
I'd be writing my name with both hands. Like scribbling on that shit, dude. Are you serious?